What's up, YouTube? This is True Raw for TV, and Houston Rockets star James Harden last night in Cleveland's game against Cleveland Cavaliers. He only needed 2 3-pointers to pass Kobe Bryant for the 14th spot in the all-time list of players with the most 3-pointers made. He finished the night with 8 3-pointers. Kobe Bryant made 1,827 career 3-pointers in his 20-year career. James Harden, who hasn't played nearly as many years, now has 1,834. Now, this is what this article kind of leaves out. Now, to be honest, James Harden is a much better 3-point shooter than Kobe. He passed Kobe Bryant in career made 3-pointers, despite the fact he's attempted 500 less 3-pointers in his career. Kobe was about 33% maybe for his career in 3-pointers, while James Harden is about 37%. That's a significant difference. And James Harden has got a lot better shooting from outside in recent years. He's usually in the 38 to 41% clip. All right. So he's a better 3-point shooter. But everything else, I mean, Kobe Bryant owns James Harden. All right. One thing that gets me is like, okay, when a guy used to make 7, 8, 9 3-pointers, 10 3-pointers, it was extremely impressive because usually he probably only took 12, 13. I mean, he was hot. I mean, on fire. He might have been like 9 or 12 from beyond the arc, 10 or 15, or Dennis Scott. Remember that game when he set the record at the time? He was 11 or 17. Kobe was 12 of 19. 12 of 18 when he set the record at the time, the record against the Seattle Supersonics, who, of course, another Oklahoma City Thunder. I think he did it back in the 2002-2003 season, I think it was. Donnell Marshall, who tied the then record when he was playing with the Toronto Raptors, I think he was 12 of 19. So you get it. The point is, these guys usually had a very high percentage. Now, last night, James Harden was 8 of 16, which is good. It wasn't, I guess, blistering. You know what I mean? Then there's some nights James Harden might be 7 of 19 from beyond the arc. And you look at SportsCenter, James Harden made 7 3-pointers last night, but they neglect to mention that he missed 12 of them, which is why his field goal percentage is so fucking low. I understand analytics. I get that. I get that 3-pointers are screwing his percentage up, but he chooses to take those threes. And whatever argument you want to give to why James Harden is a great offensive player, field goal percentage to me matters. I don't care what nobody tell me about analytics and all this other shit. Field goal percentage matters. And if you're shooting 43.8% from the floor, or 43.9%, maybe this game ticks it up, 43.9% from the floor, you're not efficient. You're not. You're not an efficient scorer. That's not the right word to use. Okay? And true, free throws do kind of make up for it. But this guy is not, in my opinion, one of the greatest scorers in the history of the NBA, man. If James Harden was playing in the rules of, say, the early, well, no, not even that. If James Harden was playing 20 years ago, 1997, 98, I'm very convinced that James Harden would be more of a 15 to 18 points per game guy. He wouldn't be getting all these fucking ticky-tack calls. He wouldn't be able to use his signature move because it'd be a travel. All right? It'd be a travel. The lanes wouldn't be open for him to drive as much as he do. And he'd be relegated to being more or less a three-point shooter and a jump shooter. And that's just my opinion, all right? Now, another thing, you got all these guys who are playing today. The game is so predicated upon a three-point shot. 20 years ago, I think the league average was maybe like 14 three-pointers a game per team. It actually dropped, if the memory serves me correctly, it actually dropped from 97 to 98 because the league expanded three-point line back to its original distance. And if I remember correctly, I think the actual amount of threes teams took went down from the prior season. But now teams are taking 31 three-pointers a game. So basically, if you got everybody taking that amount of threes compared to prior generations or prior eras, of course these guys are going to dwarf people like Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. I get so irate when I see people post up stupid comparisons like, oh, well, Larry Bird, 649, whatever it is, three-pointers in his career. Curry, 775 in the last 3 seasons. Like you're basically trying to infer, well, Curry's a better player. Bird only made, but you don't take anything into context. You don't put any of this shit into context at all, man. And it's very like frustrating to see, you know. And I'm looking at it now. He's also passed Chauncey Billups, who was in 13th spot. Now he's 14. He passed Chauncey Billups. And it's saying if he continues at the rate that he's going now and doesn't get injured, he's probably going to pass Dirk Nowitzki, who is now pretty much just a role player and is limited in the amount of shots he takes. So he's going to pass Dirk Nowitzki and J.R. Smith. That's what you should expect, right? I mean, we're playing in the three-point era, and he's one of the league's top offensive players. Of course he's going to pass guys that played, you know, in their primes 10 years ago or what have you, when a three-point shot was maybe took back then, maybe 17, 18 three-pointers a game as a team, as opposed to 31 now. Of course they're going to pass these guys. You know, so there's that, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to shit on a guy like James Harden or even Stephen Curry, but I'm not the only one. Even Kevin Durant, all right? Even Kevin Durant dislikes this three-point mania that's going on in the NBA right now, man, with teams just live behind the arc, man. He said basically, I think he said something like, it's fun for the fans and sometimes fun for the players, but he wished that it would get back to the way it used to be. And there are some people that think that the NBA should reinstitute hand checking. And I think it should be, man, because I kind of agree with something Isaiah Thomas said. Back in the day, people kind of had signature moves or signature shots or what have you. And it's like, you know, you had Kareem with the sky hook, all right, Jordan with the fadeaway, you know what I'm saying? You know, Magic had the baby sky hook. You know, but it's like now everybody basically just shoots three-pointers. And there's no individuality with people's games and what have you. And I do think that this three-point this 3-point revolution, or whatever you want to call it, I think it's hurting the game of basketball. And I think it needs to get back to where at least there's some type of balance, man. I know it's not going to get back into how it was where teams were only taking 7, 8 3-pointers a game, like back in the very, very early 90s or what have you. I know it's not going to get to that anymore, but I really think the teams should take no more than 20 3-pointers, man. Like, that's a good cutoff. Like, you're overdoing it. And a friend of mine made a good point. Yeah, the 3-point shot does stretch the floor out, but it basically allows little guys to be able to do whatever the hell they want to do now. And what happened to the premier shot blockers in the NBA? Remember when the centers, that was their territory. Like, the little guys stay out there. This is my space. Now you got all these little guys just coming in, invading the big guy's space. And then if the little guy initiate contact, they call a foul on the big guy. Really, what the fuck's the point of a center anymore? Why don't you just get rid of the center position? Call him big point guard or something. Like, I mean, literally, like, basically the center position is just there to get rebounds. Just there to get rebounds. And, you know, you got to develop a 3-point shot or you're not able to play in the league anymore. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous, man. But, kind of get away from the point of my video and shit, man. But tell me what you guys think.